Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing another weird Barbie video. This is the video that I made a big deal about on my post, but I had several direct messages and some of you still wanted to see it and kind of learn from my mistakes. Now I want to just let you all know that I'm a little bit dramatic. It's really not that bad, it's just not what I envisioned in here. So therefore I'm disappointed, but it's still a pretty doll. Like if I'm doing something that doesn't look original, it's not really the original intent or direction of the doll. I like to call that a customization, and a restoration is restoring what was there and putting it back and keeping it like in its original integrity. So I guess this would be a customization. Again, is this my favorite? No. I really didn't want to post it, but we're all human, and sometimes even I make mistakes, and I'm still trying to grasp on the fact that I am human. So, but anyway, this video will include a tutorial. So there is a really good reason why to keep watching it. You will learn how to do something, and you will learn what not to do. What a perfect video. I'm so glad I could do this for you. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy. So we all have a weird Barbie, I feel. When you go thrifting, sometimes you just find a Barbie that really speaks to you. And this Barbie really spoke to me. I think she's the troll Barbie. I don't know. I got her to be a body donor, but then I just kept looking at her face and I said, she's so sweet. And she reminds me of the Barbies that I would gravitate towards at the flea market. You know, for some reason when I was a kid in the late 90s, early 2000s, when I would get to go to an antique mall or flea market, I would always just like run towards these grubby looking Barbies. I don't know what it was about them that I liked. I just loved them and I thought they were so pretty, and her face really speaks to me. So I'm not actually going to use her as a body donor anymore. I'm actually going to restore this weird Barbie and make her into a stereotypical Barbie. To do that, she's going to need a bath, she's going to need some new hair, and a beautiful wardrobe of pretty clothes. How cute would that be? But first things first, we have to wash her. Usually I would take out whatever hair is left, but she's actually pretty moldy, and I found her in this really grubby stall in a flea market, and all the Barbies had thick brown and black mold all over them, and she was just chilling on top. And yeah, I think I'm gonna wash her before I really touch her anymore. If you are curious how I wash my dolls, you may check out my playlist under doll restoration tutorials, where I go over how to wash them, how to do their hair, how to repair things, of many different types of tutorials on that playlist. So I hope you do enjoy it. I made them for your convenience, so that way I don't have to over explain everything to you in every single video I make, and so that way if you are cleaning and restoring your dolls, you have something to reference to. So now that she's all cleaned, you can really see all the roots. I don't know why I do this to myself. This is gonna be a lot of work. Especially since I have like no real emotional attachment to this doll, and she's really not that valuable. Again, it's just like that childlike mentality inside me. I just gravitated towards her, and I just couldn't bear just to put her like in a little head bag and never be seen again. Because she's such a beautiful doll. Like usually I would just use these as body donors. I wouldn't give them the time of day. But whoever cut their hair, like, is it just me or does she look like the mom from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody? Or like a really punk rock star, you know, like you could take some gel and like gel back the back and she could look like this, and like she really wouldn't look that bad. But of course I'm gonna give her back some really long luxurious hair. Now the hair that's in her right now is actually Kanekalon. But I'm not going to put in Kanekalon. I'm going to use Saran, and this is not going to be like a typical restoration. This is going to be more of a customization, because I don't want to spend extra money to get the same hair that she has. I have so much blonde Saran hair in my little hair bin that I need to use up and get rid of, so I'm actually going to make her two-toned blonde, and I'm going to give her more of a beachy look with her hair. So yeah, I think she's going to turn out really cute. I'm still going to give her some bangs, so she's still going to have some bangs going on and all that. but she's gonna look a little bit different than what she looks like right now, so I do hope that I like it. And since it's going to be like a custom, I get to make her exactly the way that I would like her. Can we just for a moment appreciate the artistry that is this Barbie doll's face? There's just something so simple, so beautiful, just so glamorous about it. And like, honestly, this makeup is so versatile. Like, you could have this Barbie go to the beach, you could have her go to the mall, you can have her do any career style whatsoever. She could wear any outfit. She's just so beautiful. These little 90s Barbies, they speak to me now more so than ever. And I think it's the whole fantasy aspect of it, because, you know, we all need a little bit of fantasy in our life. But if I did decide to keep this hair, really would it be that bad? I mean, look at that. It's actually kind of cute. Boiling water, dunk her whole head in there. That way we'll make her head nice and squishy. Okay, let's pluck off her head. I don't ever think that I've shown how I exactly get my doll's hair out of the head before. I just kind of do like a segment of this and then it just magically comes out the head.
I'm a witch.
But there's actually some work that is involved in that. Now, when I first started restoring and customizing dolls, I'm gonna be honest with you, there were no restoration tutorials out there. I just really had to do what I thought I could do, and it was like trial and error. I remember me and my friend Shelly would always talk about it every week, like what we found works best and what we could try to do better and all that stuff. But this really works for me. So to pluck out all the hair, instead of using tweezers, I like to use a flat head screwdriver, and I just like to pluck it out. It really helps. But before we start doing that, I'm actually going to cut this down even shorter than what it already is. See, I'm going to show you something. So we'll cut it down even shorter than what it is. Now, do you see like the actual, like this scissor is the ideal scissor because it's small, so it's not overpowering like big scissors. So I'm not going to run risk of cutting her ear, making a scrape on the forehead or anything like that, because I have ultimate control with these scissors. And that is what's truly ideal. Now, these are not the same type of scissors that I will cut Barbie hair with, other than like a small trim or anything like that. Whenever I reroot Barbies, I always cut them with actual trimming shears used for hair. So this hair is getting all over the place, oh my gosh. There you go. And because her caneculon is so fluffy, I think it appears that there was more holes than what there truly is, which thank God. I don't want to do this until the day I die. You never know. You just never know sometimes. I feel like that's one of the good things about caneculon hair, is that it appears that there's more hair than what there truly is, because it's so fluffy. And then you can just add volume to it too. I used to really dislike caneculon hair, but you have to know how to use it and how to actually make the hair look good, because when you do, then the hair becomes so fluffy and so glamorous looking. Okay, so here we have the hair that we had to cut off of it. So we're gonna go ahead and go in, and I just start off in random spots and I just scrape. See? Scrape, scrape, scrape. But you see, like, sometimes these holes look really big, like right there. See that? These are the holes that you do have to fill more hair in if you don't use any glue. You don't want to use any thin strips of hair for big holes like these, because they will come out. What you can do, which is probably what I'm going to do before I reroot this doll, I will actually put the head in boiling water again and make the holes a little bit smaller. Now, sometimes whenever you have little ones like this that just don't want to come out, you can just pluck them out like that. Whenever you are ready to start plucking out hair, you could just do this, like so, when it starts coming to the surface. See, like, look at all that's like in there that I've already plucked out. Another thing, if you do not have the flathead screwdriver, you can just use your tweezers and try to tweeze it all out. That's how I first started, and let me tell you, it takes longer, but sometimes you still do have to use your tweezers. And you want to give extra care whenever you start to do any thatching. Like, do you see this thatching line right up here? This is going to be the one that gives you the most pain, the most struggle, but you do need to be gentle with it because these holes generally are a little bit larger than all the rest of them.
That's what she said.
And that is where you can get a lot more splits. So do you see this right here, like where there is a big clump of hair right there? This might be still thatched. So I'm going to take my scissors and go along the middle and just do this. I'm gonna break up the hair, which will make it easier to come out the head. Just break up the hair. Just break it up. Go right down the middle and just break up that hair. Okay folks, there we go. Now she is ready to be rerooted. I'm going to wash her again just so that I can get all the dirt that was from all the dirt that's probably on the scalp still, because like I said, I did find her in a moldy place. So I'm gonna wash her again, and then we're going to get to doing the reroot. Okay, so here we have Barbie washed and prepped. She's ready to go. Now, I do not have platinum blonde, or at least a lot of it. This is actually as much as I have. I would love to make her platinum blonde again, but I just don't have enough hair for it, and I don't want to go out and order hair for her either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually blend it. So I'm going to give her a darker blonde on the bottom, and then as we work to the top, we will get to the platinum blonde. Now, it looks kind of like jarring with it on here, but I'm going to blend out this hair, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. So you can tell right up here, this rooting pattern, I don't know if we can see it very well, but she had a thatching and it stopped right here, which meant she had some bangage going on right here. So I'm thinking about adding back in the bangs as well. And look how tiny those holes are. That is very thin amounts of hair right there. So what I kind of speculate happened was they pulled the hair back and then they added the bangs on top and then thatched them that way. And that's just what I'm thinking happened. So you can see this right here. These are the bangs. And the thatching should have went all the way down, but it didn't. So you can see where the bangs started, like right along here. So this was like the whole clump of bangs going on. So I'm gonna try to do the same hairstyle that she had before, except not cut. And like I said, I'm gonna try to blend out these hairs. So I want the platinum to show right along here and then right up here. So I'm gonna have to try to blend it out to where I've got platinum rows right up here, through the bangs, and then all the way down to the thatching and around the center part right here. So I'm going to blend out the hair first. I'll even show you how I'm going to do it. Here I have 2 equal parts. To blend this out, to make this a little bit more brighter, I'm going to take this much of a strand of saran. You see that? Very small amount. And then I'm going to take an equal size amount of this darker hair right here. There we go. And then I'm going to add one on top of the other. And boom, it is blended. And this will be a very nice color, I think. And I'm going to do the time-consuming bit of my day. I'm going to reroot the stall. I'm going to blend every single strand out. and then she's gonna look glamorous. And I have a vision in my head of how she's gonna look, so I really hope that it ends up looking like that. But yeah, this is good practice for me because I've actually never done this before, and I've thought about doing it. I have another Barbie design project coming up, and I wanted to do it with that Barbie. So this is perfect practice for me, so that way I can practice on this doll, make her look good, but then also know what I'm doing so that I'm prepared for whenever I redesign my next Barbie. Okay, so I started doing it on this side, and it's looking a lot more yellow than what it is in person on camera, but it does have like some platinum roots in there now. So when I get to the back, it's all going to be like this, like, you know, deeper blonde color, so it's gonna be two-toned. It's gonna look cute. I think it's gonna look really pretty. She's definitely gonna be a more unique Barbie, but I really like her face, and I think she's gonna look super cute in all of the clothes. Okay, so I got even more done, and you can see, like, I think this is gonna be super pretty, super cute. Like, I could just see the 90s blowout that I have going on, and I have some 90s Barbie jewelry that I can put in her earrings, so I'm kind of thinking like what I'm gonna put in her. Oh, it's gonna be so cute. I can't wait. So I will be back actually whenever I have the majority of the head rooted, and I will show you how I'm gonna do the bangs and how I'm gonna thatch the bangs. So it has been 5 hours, and now I'm back. We are going to start doing the thatching with the bangs. Their thatching start right up here, and then the actual like circumference of the hairline begins right here. So we're gonna do exactly as you would do your thatching, which actually starts right here. So you would thatch the bangs first, push this hair back, and then thatch this way. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to separate it right here down the middle. Boop. So let me just start off with a small amount, flip back, and then flip forward. So you're just gonna do this the whole entire time, okay? Flip forward. Flip back. Flip forward. So you see what we're doing? We're creating a thatch there. So you're doing the same thing as what you would with the hairline. So we're going to pick up a piece right back over here off this end and flip. Feels really weird to do, like really weird to do. It's just how this Barbie was rooted originally. Also, this doesn't have to be really fancy because I plan on curling these bangs anyway. They're gonna be big and fluffy. At least we're gonna try to make them big and fluffy. It's saran, so it's gonna be weighted, but I'm gonna try our best. And please don't worry if you mess up, just try again. You are gonna get better with thatching with practice. Trust and believe. I mean, even this time last year, I was not as good at thatching as I am this year, so it just takes a lot of practice. I'm going to get this completely thatched, and then I'll be back. I have the bangs all thatched, so you can kind of see like what I'm going for. I want her to have like a big 90s blowout. That's my goal, my vision for her. So what I'm gonna do next actually is I'm going to go ahead and just like set these aside like so. And then I'm going to work on the thatching right up here. If you are interested to know how I do thatching, I do have a whole video on it on my channel. It's on my doll restorations and tutorials. We have her thatching done, and we've got to cut her bangs. I want her to have like big 90s Barbie bangs, but they do have to be trimmed. Instead of actually doing a blunt cut and then going from there, what I'm going to do is do the same thing I did in my last video, and I'm going to cut in an upward angle. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this actually around the rooting tool, because that's where this is about how I want the bangs to be, at least the size, so I can tell what it will be like whenever I cut it. So I want the bangs to be at least this long. I'm gonna take my scissors and I'm going to cut up like so, see? And my Sia doll is now complete. Thank you all so much for watching. We could go in and trim some more. You don't have to really worry about cutting yourself because you are in control of the scissors. Never let the scissors control you. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to curl it, and then I'm going to boil wash the rest of this hair. I've curled her bangs, so we're going to boil wash now. I've not boil washed yet, and this thatch needs to be laid down before I start cutting the hair, and the hair also needs to blend in with itself, and I'd like it to be wet before I start cutting it. Ooh. Like, real talk though, this Barbie's probably never felt so much love and then so much torture all in one day. I'm going to pour some of my homemade Barbie dough onto her, which if you'd like to know exactly how I make this, you can go to my Dolly Restorations tutorials guide, and it will be under the hair care one. This just leaves it nice and rejuvenated and silky and gives it a nice little glisten. But again, I didn't use any glue, and check it. No hair's coming out of that head. I'm telling you, it works. You do not need glue. I will die on my anthill. My soapbox will never give in. It was at this point where she made a mistake. I was going for an extreme and fabulous 90s blowout. Therefore, I cut it realistically, as you would a human's hair, which works great if you're going for a realistic look. However, I wanted to go for a Barbie fantasy look, and that is not what I got. So just know that this tutorial, I mean, like, it is a nice tutorial. It will work with other dolls, and it's a nice haircut and style, but it just doesn't go with my original vision for this doll. So that's where I feel like I messed up. But this tutorial and hairstyle still have its uses, so it's really up to whatever you want to do with it. I'm going to do some hair cutting, which, yay.
By the way, I was being sarcastic.
The platinum streaks in her hair actually end right here. They don't go all the way down because I didn't have enough of it. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take her hair in sections. You may use the clips for this as well. So I'm just going to clip right here, this layer. So if we look, we're going to put it right here. It's a little bit lower. And then for our last layer, right back here, we're going to put it just a smidgen low as well. Okay, so now we've got our little layers all mapped out. This is going to be the helpful route. So we want our layers to end right where this clip is. I'm not going to cut this way, I'm going to cut up. So cut, cut, cut. Okay. And I'm also going to cut in this direction as well. There we go. Okay. And now we've got our little cheat guide right here. I'm going to cut right here is good for me. it up. So what this is doing, actually, I know it looks like a hot shit mess, but what this is going to do, it's going to make the hair less heavy. So it was really pretty if I left it long like this, but I want it to be very voluminous and big. So that's the goal, that's what we're going for. So I'm gonna do it to the other side. So I went through like all of my 90s Barbie jewelry. I really don't have that much. She does have this little pink ring. So I found these little pink ones, these little pink studs, and they go with her ring. So I was like, you know what, that's okay. Her original earrings were pink. Now granted they were huge, but because this is Troll Barbie. But she's gonna look completely different anyway, and you know what? Stereotypical Barbie is all about the pink. Okay, so I'm so upset with myself. I went a little bit too scissor happy with this hair, and yeah, I should totally trust the process and wait for it to dry, but you know, this happens to the best of us. Ultimately, I wanted her to have long, big 90s hair, but I cut it a little too short. Ideally, I would have liked it to go down to her shoulders, but it is way above her shoulders. I should have just left it as is and then trimmed it after. It's always best to do that, and I was just trying to save a step, but there we are. It's okay because I do think that she looks a lot better than what she did when we first started out. And again, like, the hair's not dry yet, so she's not completely done, but I do have some disappointments in my work. And again, I just wanted to show everyone that sometimes even I can make mistakes, and I'm going to try to solve those mistakes somehow and try to save the project. But don't be too mad at yourself, like, if you do come across bumps in the road, because even I sometimes, with all the experience I have with working on these dolls, do make mistakes. Now, ideally, if you did something like this, like say you wanted the hair longer and you cut a little bit too much, you would have to reroot it, you know? I'm not going to do that. I have a bucket of dolls that I actually have to work on still. This was just a fleeting fancy for me. Again, I'm gonna try to see if there's anything I can do to salvage it. But yeah, sometimes when you are doing this kind of stuff, you just have to take it like it is. Yeah, this project is not done yet. We're gonna wait until her hair dries and then maybe I can save it. Okay, so the hair is falling now that it's getting drier and it's not so Joan Rivers.
I can end up in Bobby Brown's ass. Yes!
Which is not bad. It's a look that worked for her, but I was going for something a little bit more youthful. Again, it is still too short. However, she's looking more like Dolly Parton, and to me, that's a compromise I'm willing to settle with. So like I said, I'm the best hairstylist in the whole wide world. Obviously, I do everything so perfect. Again, if things don't work out the way that you had planned, try to look at it a little bit differently. Like, again, is it exactly how I wanted the hair? No. We're still gonna keep on waiting for it to dry some more. Maybe it'll look even better. But, you know, she's given off Dolly Parton from the 90s, and I'm here for it. And here she is. It is the next day. And this is after I decided that I wasn't going to upload this. And I made that dramatic post on the community page. But I've gotten a lot of messages, personal DMs, and I actually got some messages from some of you all that you guys actually do want to see it. You want to learn from my mistakes. And to be honest with you, this whole video, like, there are some helpful hints, there are some helpful tricks, and there's also a what not to do, which was not the original intention for this video. However, I am my own worst critic because look at her. There is nothing wrong with this doll. She looks absolutely cute. Spin it all around. What I think I made a mistake on is the hair length, because I had an original vision in my head of how I wanted it to look. And I was minorly inconvenienced because it did not look like that. And the mistake that I made was actually cutting her hair a little too similar to in real life how a 90s blowout hairstyle would have been cut. First of all, you don't really want to do like real style haircuts on a doll, point and blank period, because especially one from this era, because of these fashions, like they're supposed to be dramatized, they're supposed to be a caricature of what people would wear, and hairstyles should probably reflect that. Now, I still have her hair in a more like kid-like look, like what the 90s would have had, especially with the bow, but without the bow, she does look like a newscaster, which is not what I was going for. I was going for beachy type of big blowout hair that would have gone down to here, and you know, all of that fun and glamorous stuff, but it did not work out that way. To me, her hairstyle and length is more like a basic budget doll that you would have gotten at Walmart back in the day for like $5, where it's nice and short, made of nice quality, and it's styled and it looks really cute. So that's where I think I made a mistake, and the only mistake, like I said, there is, it just doesn't go with my original intention with how I wanted it to look. However, the way that it does look, there's nothing wrong with it, and I think that she looks absolutely cute in this little fashion pack, which was a huge gift set from the 90s that I actually got when I was a child. And I recently found it before I was doing YouTube, and I decided to open it and relive my childhood days with the same fashions. And it's kind of surreal because there was so many fashions in that fashion pack that I didn't even recognize, and then there were some that were like my instant favorites I remember from childhood that I basically used them until they just completely fell apart. So it was really nice to get like a whole set that was pretty minty and fresh and just kind of like relive that. But yeah, this is the weird Barbie after her transformation. I hope that you did learn something from this video. I think she does look better, so there you go. The original intention was to make her look like a stereotypical Barbie, and you don't get more Barbie looking than this. I don't know, it is growing on me. I think she looks rather cute now. I definitely think this doll is much cuter than what she was originally when I got her. I think I'm a little bit too critical on myself. There's really nothing that wrong with this doll or egregious with the haircut. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you can. And hurry back, have got so many restorations up and on the way. I'm working on 2 right now. 1 is almost done, and I'm also working on a non-Barbie related item, a vintage doll from the 1950s. So please stay tuned, and I hope you enjoy and have a fabulous rest of your day. Bye!
So glad you came. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye now. Bye.